we put it in an easy way to the general public. And if you, for example, want to see small energy storage projects in Slovenia, you will see high-rise. This you can go to these are the technologies that develop demonstration projects, and you can see some results from the project. Or maybe you are more interested in what they did here in Holland, and you can see here the project details of E2 Reveal. Okay, there are 7 demo sites, I believe. Okay, the KPIs that they achieve. Okay, I want to know more information about the E2 Reveal. I'm going to visit what SKIS has to offer me about E2 Reveal. So for the replication of what E2 Reveal has done, we provide general information on the demo sites, what you can also access, go to the individual demo sites to see what they have done specifically. We explain at a glance what the project has done, the results, the tools, and deliverables. I will go through that later. And the main part that we do is offer KPIs at demo level. So to understand, I have to say that I think these KPIs are available, the KPI guide. So how we calculate these KPIs are explained in our guide, and this is available in the handouts panels of the webinar. So first of all, how do we calculate these KPIs that we are showing? Well, these KPIs are, the calculation of these KPIs are explained in our KPI guide that you can also find in the library. Okay, so monitoring guides, you will find how we calculate the KPIs. These KPIs are aligned with another initiative such as City Keys, Civitas, also with projects. We have talked to the projects to use the same KPIs as they are using, or try to use the same, because there are different definitions of KPIs. Some projects use some KPIs and other projects use other KPIs. So we are trying to do maybe not that standard, but at least a common set of agreed KPIs among Europe. And of course, we took into account the work done by Concerto. So when we talk about KPIs, we understand 2 levels. One will be specific per technology, so specific per PV panels or solar thermal or mobility. And the ones that we are showing here is the one that we call horizontal. These general KPIs are common. So for example, investments, you can scroll down, total investments, the mobility interventions, ICT interventions, energy efficient interventions, all have investments, all have CO2 savings. So they are implemented because we want to save primary energy, we want to save CO2. These are calculated to all the interventions and then compare. So you can compare the final energy savings that a demo site achieved, that a project achieved, and compare between projects. This is what we call horizontal. And we try to calculate these KPIs to give a general picture, a big picture of what the different projects have achieved. About this big picture, I will give more details afterwards. But this is the main point that we want to show. We calculate KPIs to give first insight into the project. Individual KPIs are also calculated and are available for the user of the SKIS, but this it's more specific for whoever wants more specific information. In this part of the SKIS website, you can also go to the results. You have general information of the results that the project achieved, and also the tools. The deliverables will be here also, but they are available in the library also. So for example, E2 Reveal have done a European retrofit advisor, and this is available for you. So what they have achieved and the outcomes of E2 Reveal are accessible for all of you, the tools that they have developed. So you can see here that they did a free tool for the early financial and environmental evaluation of retrofit scenarios. This is available, so you don't have to go to the individual website to see what projects have done. This is what we do. This is our added value. So I want to give you now a bit of background information on how the information and data was collected and what is the added value of skis. Well, first of all, what skis does is collect the data. So we collect the data from the projects through self-reporting. So we develop a self-reporting tool where the projects tell us what the information about the different interventions they develop. Through deliverables, so we go through the deliverables of the projects, what they write. We read it and extract general information, general trends, obstacles, the replication potential, payback, cost effectiveness of the technologies, and then we standardize this data. So this is the process we did here. We try to standardize the data so we can compare between projects with our KPIs. So what SKIS does is collect information, analyze, and communicating them to the general audience. But who are the stakeholders? Or which one is the audience of SKIS? Well, we really want to go we want to communicate the results to a very wide audience. So there will be architects, urban planners, people that develop specific technologies. So we need to do a top-down process. This means that we start from the big picture. We communicate the big pictures of the project. So, okay, how many square meters there are, how many energy savings, and then we go to the individual technologies. Okay, I'm more interested in maybe building envelope retrofitting. So I can go to see how many projects have done building envelope retrofitting because I'm really interested in this part. Okay, so here are the projects that have worked with building envelope retrofitting. I can visit them. Okay, so this is the basic of our work. And then you can see here. Okay, I want to know what projects have done in about heat pumps, large scale storage, and so on. We try to communicate the results of the projects with a common language. User-friendly to the language that we use tries to be common to all the technologies. That when people want to go deeper into the project, we also give that possibility. Okay, so what they did in the building envelope retrofitting, we will present an export tool where people can download the individual information about building envelope retrofitting. So we go from the general picture to the very detail. And once you really want to know more about these projects, then we give access to the access is there, but we offer the access to the website, so you can go to the project and learn more about the project. So we are not really the website of the project. We just collect all the information, analyze, and show it to you, so you can you can dig in the information to find what you want to find. I like to maybe make this example. We are like a conference or a poster session where you go through many posters and then you just stop in the poster that you are more interested and you ask the guy who is explaining. And also one very important section to us is the policy and finance knowledge that the projects have developed. So the projects have worked in different aspects and have faced different obstacles, different barriers, and they tell this in the deliverables, and we also talk to them. And once we identify one common trend that 2-3 projects have, then we communicate this, but my colleague Jorge will explain this later. The information that we provide for urban planners will be cost effectiveness, what available technologies there are, what have done in your country or in your area. And for the experts, it's not really easy to predict their needs. We have information for the experts, but what an expert needs, this is not really easy to address all the experts. So this is why we have this export function on a wide selection of data. And we as a smart city information system don't want to lose the big picture, so we don't want to get very specific, because for that the projects websites are there. So we always want to show the general picture. You can always see, okay, what sites are there, what projects are there, and from the big picture you can always go deeper and deeper on the different clusters that you want. And again, if you want to know more, you can go to the library and visit the deliverables of the projects. Why we are collecting the deliverables? Well, the projects websites are only mandatory for 1 year after the project ends, something around that. So we keep them in case the website disappears. So this is also one of the added value that we have. More information that we provide, it's technical visits. So we talk to the projects and get more information from them, and so to the public in our blog, on newsroom, etc. And I think this is all from my side, except the answers that I will try to give to your questions. So I let Jorge explain you better the policy and finance.
Hello, welcome to my section. I hope you can see it well. Thank you for attending. So I will try to put it clear and brief. My work is to lead the work package. This on policy and finance of SCIS. The objective of the work that we are doing, as you have seen, it's all related, is to provide information to the project developments for urban planners and policymakers on the non-technical, really, the factors affecting innovation and replication of projects. Many projects are delayed, have the results affected, or even maybe sometimes could even be blocked by non-technical factors. Not accounting for all of these factors is big mistakes when analyzing outputs and consider replication. You may have a project that's very good in one country, in one place, in one condition, then you try to copy it, and simply a building regulation or something will block it. So it's good to know what happens with the projects also, and also take the lessons, because many projects have learned sometimes the hard way some of the problems, local problems. These very often have not been reported in detail because they were not considered an output of the project to discuss the paperwork with the administration, but we decided that this is important to bring it up. So where can you find information? There are two ways to find information. First of all, we are preparing now this in tabs. If you go to projects and you go to the sites of a project, and even in the main project, but specifically in the sites, you know, the regulatory issues in Nottingham are different than in the other sites. You will have not only what is now here, which is a description of the whole thing, but you will have tabs with results, but also with the issues they faced and how they solved them. So there will be tabs by demo, so you can actually find there. This will be one place to find it, but we have been working on the other side of it, is the policy and finance. The policy and finance side works the other way around. It actually goes by problem. So first of all, we divide, the section is divided in technology areas. So we have here energy efficiency in buildings and low carbon technologies and renewable energy sources. Most of the projects until now have been dealing with energy efficiency mainly, and some of them have some low carbon technology issues. We are adding, we practically have finalized, it's a question of formatting it to put it in. We will be the transport side, although there are not so many projects yet that have results in that area, but they will be coming, so we will be ready for it. And there will be an ICT area. Of course, ICT is included in many of the technologies, so this ICT area is more, what we're building is more information of barriers like legal issues, privacy of data, information flows, which can cause problems. For example, if someone wants to have a smart grid with smart meters, if you cannot use the data. So this is being built, but for the moment we have these two cases. So how does the information work? So if you look at one, you will find that we have, and we have tried to be short, because initially we had so many lists of problems. We tried to condense them. So what we have is that we describe with different sections. We have where we analyze the different problems that are faced. So you will have a short description. This is not here a literature. We are not doing an economic research paper on financial and economic barriers, but what we are doing is that we are describing a little bit what are the problems. So we have financial cost, financial risk, hidden regulatory, and then we have administrative barriers and regulatory. There are many issues there. Then we have access to information, social barriers. This is all the issues with the stakeholders and NIMBY, not in my backyard problems and these kind of things. Let me take, for example, one of the split incentives, which we found in a few of the SCIS projects, so SKIS projects. So here we have in the EU smart cities projects, when we find that they have encountered a problem and they have solved it, we add them here. So you have the example, and then you can continue reading and see how it has been addressed. And we will keep this short. There will be more documentation, but it's separate. We want to be very, very short here, so you can see the issues. If you're interested in, if you're more, you can go into the actual project with the link. So then we have also another part, which is recommendation best practice. That this section is actually, we're looking at, we give the opportunity. We will thought what is good to have the SCIS, I mean the SKIS projects inside with their problems and their solution in this, but yeah, there are many other projects around Europe and even abroad which find issues. So we found some, and we started put some of them that have found some problems and how they solved it. So you cannot only find the ones from this project, although they are the important ones highlighted before, but you can find also, if you don't find something in one of these projects in some area, maybe there is somewhere else, anywhere in the world. And we will have, this is set up, but we first want to populate it more. There will be a window where you actually can submit, if you know of a project or a solution, you are involved in one, and you want to submit an information saying, well, we faced exactly this issue. We actually found another solution. You can actually put a short explanation with a link where there is more data, more information. You can send it to us. We will publish it here in these recommendation sites. We are also putting some other information that is, I think, important, because everybody is always asking, okay, but where do we get the money? So we do have a financial solutions section of the site, which mainly, I mean, of course, has all kinds of EU financial systems, but it goes also, so you have the links to how to go, or even the Horizon program. So when you click, it brings you to the actual places, even EIB, Commission, whatever, where you can find the kind of information. So you have the different sources, because we are also looking at replication. We don't only look at the Horizon 2020, but there is EU structural investment funds, other assistance. So we and program funding that is not about innovation, because ultimately what we want is replication. So we're looking at other ones and subsidies and grants. We're not open all of this. You can go and check. But this is really solutions that also can be found across countries. So there are loans in some countries and systems. Sometimes they are linked with EU schemes that are guaranteeing loans in banks in member states. So you would be able to find where you get this information from. So this is a site to provide help. All the information of the like the split incentives or others that we find will also all be linked. You can click and it will link you to the tabs that I'm speaking about, the projects where we have a longer text and description of the overall situation that we are writing together. So you will have two ways of seeing it, seeing all the problems by demo site or project, or you can actually go to look at the problems and find which demo sites and which projects have it. So we have two ways to reach this and find information. Well, this is the way we are building it. We are populating this site and preparing this tool for you to enter your own examples and information. So those who are, of course, if you are an SKIS project, you will be sent your formularies, you have your own self-reporting, so no need that you put your own things in here. You just have to report it to us. But if you have a project somewhere else, please feel free to give us more information. I think this is, for me, all I have to say. Last point, well, I will be here for another 10 minutes, and I will leave to my colleagues to continue answering questions because I have a meeting. But thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio and Jorge. As you saw, the Smart Cities Information System is still in development, which is why we would like to ask you a few questions about what are we doing right and what is the direction we should go. For this reason, we created several polls, and now I will ask all of you to answer those before we go to the Q&A session. So the first poll is, what do you think of the level of detail that is depicted at the moment on the Smart Cities Information website? Is it too low, is it sufficient, or is it high level of detail? I'm giving time to all the participants to vote. Not everybody has voted, but I would suggest to go to the next one. Thank you very much. So the second question is, what information do you miss? We have the options technical, policy, financial, best practices, and replication elements, and you can choose one or a few of those at the same time. Again, this is about what information do you miss from the website. And if you don't think anything is missing, you don't need to pick an answer. Just waiting a couple more seconds. And I would assume just the rest are happy with the information that is presented. Okay. I'm closing this poll. Thank you very much. The third poll, what best practices would you like to see in the database? The three options are highlights from projects, realization of project KPIs, and stories and advice of project coordinators. I see that from the results that the three options are as popular. So this answers the question, all of them. Thank you for that. I'm closing this poll. And last poll, do you think that the Smart Cities Information System is useful for replication? I'm launching it now. Thank you very much for this. Now, we will go ahead and take some time for questions. And just a reminder, you can type your question into the question box on your GoToWebinar control panel, and I will pose it to the presenters. So nobody has questions?
Maybe I can add something, maybe about the export function that we will have. If anybody is interested in calculating their own KPIs, the information that we use for the KPIs will be available. So people could calculate again our KPIs or could calculate different ones, because the raw information it will be there for the user.
Antonio, I would like to maybe ask you one question. How about if I have a project and I would like for my project to be included in the Smart Cities information system? What do I have to do? This is a question we get a lot.
Okay, we
I'm making you a presenter now. Maybe you can demonstrate.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, maybe, but give me a second. No, it's alright. Don't worry about the how to contact with us. We're getting requests from projects that want to report the results as a part of their dissemination, and we talk with these projects. Or if you are a project that is in the scope already, we will talk to you. Most of you that I saw that are registered today already talked with you, and through the sorry, something went wrong. Through the self-reporting, you will be able to send the information to us. If you want to know more about the self-reporting, maybe it's a good question now or not. I don't know.
We're not getting any questions. So
okay.
If you or Jorge have anything to add?
I hope everything, this webinar was interesting for you, and nothing else. Thanks for attending. I think this is all from my side.
Okay, thank you everybody for attending. Just as a reminder, we have a question. So Tamas is asking the question, what is the typical issue that causes delay in the projects?
I don't know. I mean, Jorge here, I can have one of the answers when we look at, well, maybe there are technical issues, of course, that will happen all the time, but one of the things that have happened very often are really the barriers that are unexpected from regulatory documentation, tendering. This means the projects need to then tender for works, and it can cause enormous delays. Sometimes because tenders are then questioned, the people that didn't win it, let's say transport company to carry the bricks, decides that you know, the company that won it is not right, and in some countries you can get in big trouble. So there are a lot of issues that can cause delays. Others is to discover that it's very difficult to communicate with the stakeholders. There are laws in some countries that don't allow the owners to put you in contact with tenants of some buildings, so you have relationship with an owner when you are doing the work, but you need the tenants to understand the technical parameters or their behavior, but there are legal restrictions. So all of these things have sometimes surprised projects. This is why we are doing this data. This is from the side of the non-technical. It's amazing how many delays paperwork and rules can cause. So this is one side, and I don't know if there is an addition from a technical point of view. I'm not an engineer, so I cannot
I think the question was related to the non-technical issues, because you mentioned earlier in your presentation that they're the key ones, actually.
Yeah. I mean, very often when the technical issues, sometimes, of course, you can have overruns with finance and all of this. These are known things, and this the technical issues that may also, I mean, innovation is innovation. They may be solved. And there are issues maybe on the flexibility on finance and this kind of things when issues arise. But it's really the non-technical barriers can be surprisingly heavy, in fact.
Maybe I want to add two things. One thing from the technical point of view that we discuss with the projects is that sometimes it's difficult to find the companies that do innovation. So they have developed the plans and for everything, but they are not qualified workers. That's something that we got from some of the projects. And another thing that I want to add to Jorge's presentation is that what for both technical and not technical is that the question is really good, because it aims, this is our aim, to tell people before they start the project what information the other projects would like to have before they started. So oh, if I would have known this before, then my project would have been developed in a better way. So this is what information we're giving.
Thank you both. We have a follow-up question. Will you have some kind of matrix of specific issues by country? Tamas says it could be really useful for a lot of people. It seems to be country legal system specific for public procurement, etc., etc. So will we have some kind of metrics of specific issues by country, is the question, of those issues?
Yeah. I understand the question. I understand why this is wanted. It's extremely complex, because even the rules in a country may not be the same inside the region. For example, you have building rules that are different depending on the towns. You may have, so it's very complex. It will take time. For the moment, we are trying to see the main issues and bring them, and this is the idea of having not only SCIS projects but others, but we realize that doing a matrix like this is gigantic. The more you start looking, the more you find. This was something I'm also myself interested that this comes out, only that I realized that from a point of view of the amount of people that would need to work on that, and the time and all the amount of projects we have, I'm not sure how far we can get to do a matrix of this kind. But in the long term, it wouldn't be bad to have at least part of this information, or have some kind of initial matrix. But it's to go into detail, it's not that one country, one rule. That's unfortunately too easy.
Thank you, Jorge and Antonio. We have another question from Ott, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your names wrong, I apologize. So the question is, what kind of guidelines and tools will be available for replication? Some projects are preparing such documents and tools, but will you collect them as well? So what kind of...
Yeah.
We will.
We will collect all the tools that are there, but it goes from serious gaming, so downloads of games that some players develop to change the user behavior, to tools like the Tabula project you may know, where quick simulations can be launched to easy calculate the savings that could be achieved. And we have more than 30 or around 40 projects in scope, so there are so many tools that we cannot go through all of them, but this is like some examples about them.
Ott refers here to the Cityfied project, for instance, with the replication model.
We are constantly talking to the projects, or we ask them what kind of tool you can provide. And for example, now that Cityfied comes out, we, for example, Direction is also a project of Cartif as well as Cityfeed, and they provide lessons learned or main recommendations. These ones we collect and they're on the website. So these are everything that the projects produce are available on the tools section.
Thank you, Antonio. Sorry, there's a follow-up to the first part of the question that I didn't read. The same, again, for the tools and guidelines, the same applies for tools and methodologies to plan and implement a smart city project. Will you also collect and make available such tools and methodologies? That would be very beneficial because a big barrier is to know how to proceed, where to start, who to address. So a general tool or methodology to plan and implement a smart city project. Will we have something like this on our website?
Well, there are projects that do this, and we will have the links to that because there are projects of people that are working on this, on standards, on planning systems, on planning structure. So, of course, you will find through the website the link to this information.
Yes, I mean we don't develop anything. If it's developed by the projects, we will provide access. This is clear, I think.
I myself, I have to say goodbye, but I leave my colleagues to continue. Thanks.
Thank you, Jorge. Oh, did we answer your question? Yes, we'll be providing access to those if some of the projects are developing them. Okay, any other questions from the other participants? Okay, I guess no at this point. However, you can always contact us by email and we'll make sure to provide you with the necessary information on our answers. I will follow up with another email after this webinar with all our contacts. I want to It says that some participants may not have found how to show the dialog window with the red arrow. So if you see your control panel, there's an option to hide it or show your control panel. It is located at the upper corner. So a white arrow on a red background. So maybe I give you a few minutes to check. You can also put your questions in the chat, if you can see the chat. Okay, I think we're good for now, and we can continue this further over email if some of you have very concrete questions. Thank you everyone for participating. We really appreciate you being here. And next week we will be at the Smart Cities Expo World Congress in Barcelona. So if you're there, come and talk to us in person. And if we can help you in any way, we'll be there for you. Our next webinar is on the 29th of November, and the topic is provision of data and results to the Smart Cities Information System. So in case you're interested in participating in this as well, I will send you the information. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.